Oh, good morning. It's been a little while. There's some really cool things happening. I know a bunch of you guys are all scrambling to go to work and gotta get stuff done and gotta make breakfast. Or probably waking up and going, oh my god, I had to head out the friggin' door and do this again. Either way, I love you. I've been doing a lot of introspection lately, and because I needed to. Self-love is so beyond important, beyond any other time in life. We have this construction thing going on. They're bulldozing the house across the street from me. So every time I hear a beeping noise, a new baby unicorn is born. That's how I'm dealing with that one. I'm just waking up myself. I had my meditation time, and I've been really wanting to talk to and do a video for a long time because there's so much that I want to talk about, because there's so much happening. Everything's happening all at once. Everything is happening right now. Everything is happening very quickly. It's like a razor's edge. You're either on or off these days, and what's really happening is that the heart is expanding very, very, very quickly. I want you to just kind of feel what it is that I'm saying here, okay? And I want you to feel everything that is happening that is perceived to be an issue, a dilemma, some sort of trouble, is to teach you to love yourself more, okay? I've been working on finding a freedom within my heart. I want to be free from any sort of, I don't want to have my happiness be determined by external forces whatsoever. I want to be free in being here right now with me, and my path to freedom has been, how do I get into my heart more? How do I get more into my heart? How do I bring my energy back into here? As an empath and whatnot, as a victim, I've spent all my time blaming everything outside of myself as my source of happiness. And I want to be free from that. I want to know what freedom's like. I want to know when I think about freedom, I think about not having to rely on other people for my happiness, not having to rely on the state of the world for my happiness, not having to rely on CNN for my happiness. If you're relying on CNN for your happiness, you need to stop. Just saying. Because there's so much going on. And here's the thing, is that it's so easy to be distracted these days. We have social media, we have news outlets, we have an intense person who's shaking up everything in the White House. We have so many different things that are taking our power away from us. Or actually, it's not them taking away our power. You're allowing yourself to give your power to these distractions. Okay? So, quick reminder, ground. What I mean by ground, center into the earth. Center into the earth. Ground, imagine yourself connecting to the earth. We're getting bombarded by many, many large waves of energy to assist us in our evolution process. The electromagnetic fields of the earth, as well as within our body, our light bodies, are upgrading. Okay? Everything is upgrading. It may seem like it's downgrading. That is not true. Life is upgrading. If you're watching this, life is upgrading. Okay? You may have listened to what I've said at certain times in the past and go, that guy's crazy. He's off his bonkers. And now things may actually be starting to sink in a little bit more. The reason is because you are evolving. You're raising in frequency. You're able to actually see and experience the things that I'm actually talking about now. It's actually making sense a little bit more clearly. Okay? So, we are going through an ascension process, and this ascension process is moving from the mind into the heart. Okay? We have no choice but to move from here into here. This keeps us from moving into here, and when we stay in here, shit gets fucked up. We've known that from the past. Okay? People's minds, when you live your life from a place of love and compassion, forgiveness, and peace and harmony, your life will move in a lot more freedom. It will move a lot more easily. It will move with flow. Okay? Now the thing is that how do we get into here? And when I say how do we get into our heart, when do you become more embodied? When do you become more here? Okay? No, love is not in the mind. The mind trips things up, and the mind stores negative thought processes, and it holds on to that third dimensional aspect of reality, and it actually separates us from our heart. So, yes, people are going to be experiencing depression, anxiety, lots of just kind of feeling uncertain about the direction of moving forward. All these things are actually coming up because they're actually purging from your DNA, from the cellular structure of your body. Okay. We want to. What's been helping me is nothing else out here has been helping me. So I've been going inside here. I know that I have all the answers that I need inside myself for my own happiness. So what do? I meditate more. I take care of myself more. Self-love. When I talk about self-love, it's not about taking care and people-pleasing. It's about what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what makes your life worth living, what makes you smile more. If you're a person that likes to stay in your home because there's so much going on out there, go find something, go find a nice park to walk around, and you don't need to expose yourself to super intense social situations. You can if you want, and they're fun too, but make sure you get out of your house. Okay, there's a lot of life out there, and I had to remind myself of this too. So there's lots going on. There's lots of change, lots of shifting, lots of everything happening. And it's very easy to be distracted by it. So to not be distracted by it, allow yourself to give yourself some time to breathe. Close your eyes, connect to the earth. This is like a record on repeat, okay? You're going to continue to cycle through this over and over and over again. People have a hard time going inside simply because they don't have the tools or they don't know how, and it's in the past been very, very uncomfortable. But here's the thing nowadays, if you spend the time going inside yourself, inside your heart, and relaxing and connecting with the earth, it's going to bring you a lot more perception of safety. It's going to allow you to feel more connected, a lot more calm. It's going to be a lot more protecting. So The universe is not out to get you. Okay? This is not the way that it works. This is not the way that energy works. Energy is not malicious. It's the fact that we have the perception of the fact that we are still victim to things. And I've always wanted to know, what would it be like to be empowered? What would it be like to be empowered? I don't want to be a victim anymore. And then I started thinking, what do I perceive as being a victim? Or, that's when I'm like complaining about other people pissing me off and not being accountable for my own choosing of how I feel. And knowing that how I feel is how I've actually been programmed to give feelings meaning to by my upbringing. Okay? By my social situations, my surroundings, etc. So we are in fact the ones that give meaning to our emotions. We can sit there and we can feel our emotions, and the best way to do that is by thanking them for being a part of your life. Any sort of chaos that comes in or that you're perceiving to be as chaos, thank it. It's teaching you how to love yourself more. It is a crumb trail that is leading you to loving yourself more. The more you do that, the more you follow this crumb trail, you're going to find over and over and over again, there is safety, calmness, there's harmony, there's freedom when you go, oh, wait, this is happening because this is teaching me how to love myself more. And you may be a person that can't even fucking look in a mirror. I used to be that person. I used to absolutely despise what I saw in the mirror. And here's the thing is that I love using the analogy of a garden. When you are given a plot of land, say you're born and all of a sudden you have this plot of land. This plot of land has so many weeds. It can have so many weeds. And you're like, who the fuck put all these weeds here? Why are there all these weeds? And then we go, I have so many weeds in my garden. I don't know where to start. There's so many weeds, so many weeds, so many weeds. And who put these here? Who put these here? But it's kind of like a collective weight. These are the weeds that you're given to learn how to tend to and pick and pull. It's just that people don't really have the tools to how to go about that and do it. Okay? The biggest, most effective way to pull the weeds is through forgiveness. And I'm not talking about like, I'm going to forget what this person said because it hurt my feelings. I'm talking about forgiving yourself. You are accountable for your own feelings, okay? So, hi everybody. So, as we learn these tools and you start realizing that when you start pulling the weeds, there becomes space, okay? When you start pulling the weeds out and when you start going, okay, in order to plant your flower garden, you need to get rid of the weeds first and the rocks, and you need to tend to the soil. But nobody wants to do that. They just want the benefit of the flower. You just want the benefit of the flower, especially in today's society. And the benefit of the flower is given to you through Western medicine, the quick fix, take a pill, go buy something that fills that void. That void can only be filled by your own love, by your own returning into your heart, okay? Nothing else. We've tried and tried and tried again. Anything else is just a temporary fix. Everything else is just a temporary fix. I'll repeat that. Everything else is just a temporary fix. So why would you want to only do something half-ass? If you're such a productive person, you're so good at taking care of everybody, why do you want to do something that's so half-ass? Start preventing. Start taking care of what you need to. Start tending. It can be deeply, deeply scary to go in here because there's so many weeds. Okay? But those weeds are tools. Those weeds are tools to allow you to process and to learn how to love yourself more. Because as those weeds get tended to, there's the benefit of freedom. Okay? Not only that, you're resolving your karma, you're resolving your DNA karma, your lineage, your family lineage history and karma. You're resolving a lot more than you think. Not only that, you are reintegrating. You're helping the expansion of consciousness itself. The universe is in the heart. So, what's been really fascinating, the more clear that I've been getting, the more clear that I've been getting, I was laying in bed last night, and it was as if it was like each cell in my body could actually see life happening. I've been going through a lot of transition lately, but more so it's been an embodiment. I'm way more present than ever before. I feel very powerful. I feel like my words are way more powerful than ever before. I go through the last few days. This last week has been very intense for me. It's been, a lot of sadness, a lot of past issues with, not issues with health, but man, the rebel inside me really wanted that box of wheat thins. I'm doing good if the box of wheat thins is my trouble. But it was really interesting. It wasn't the symbol of the wheat. The wheat thins was a symbol. It was more like, here's my ability to still allow my mind to perceive something as being so strong and give something so much power. So, what do you want to give your power to? Okay? In this reality, we all know that what we focus on becomes powerful. And so if you're focusing on things that make you disempowered, then of course you're going to feel completely bombarded by things, and you're going to feel like a victim because you're giving your power away. Okay? So what would it be like to make you feel empowered? What would it make you feel like what if you can just walk through the day and go, this is my day, I'm going to own this, I'm going to get it, I'm going to feel good, there's cute little kids wearing pink jackets walking down the street, when you raise your frequency and you allow your thoughts to move in alignment with your mind, body, spirit, soul, physical body, here's the thing, is that your different bodies, they're all working on the same team, but your mind perceives it as being separate. And then we start moving into this aspect of what I started to call the fragmented self. When you place separation on an external factor that is causing some sort of perception to feel interesting or off or whatever, it's kind of like you're fragmenting yourself away from being here. Okay? It's like you are actually pushing yourself away from yourself. You're not allowing yourself to be whole and centered. Okay? So how do we do that? Okay, you know what? I'm going to do my best at loving myself. It's not about trying to be positive, because if you're depressed or if you're feeling down and you go, they say be positive, fuck that. It's about how can I be more kind towards myself today? How can I be more kind and gentle towards myself today? What would a friend do for me? What would a friend do for me? If I needed love, if I needed assistance, what would I do? What would they do? How would I treat myself like my own best friend? And start with a small thing. Go take a bath. Go take a hot shower. Don't stick your head in a tub of ice cream. I've done it. I've done it a lot. That's true. But that was in the past, and now is a new time. Start with the simple things. Your heart is begging you for your attention. Think about that. Your heart is begging you for your attention. Your heart is begging you for your attention. the love that your heart needs is not going to be found through Fox News or the president. The love that you need to be empowered and to heal yourself is not going to come from people you expect to just read your mind, to know that you're not doing well. Okay? We're all empowered. We weren't taught how to love ourselves completely. Our parents, they weren't taught the best ways to do this, and nor were their parents, and nor were their parents, and so it kind of trickles down. And here we are. We're going through this this wonderful evolution right now. Okay, where in this reality we have the ability to completely resolve many of these karmic DNA lineages, a lot of these different things. So the wisdom comes from, how can I learn tools to pull out the weeds? Okay, a lot of people don't know that there are tools to do it. So, and that's what I do, is I help people create the tools. I create the tools, and I bring the tools in to help you become, to have it be an easier process for you to be you. Okay. I want to talk about a couple other things. I talk about self-love a lot because it's so friggin' important. And I will until the day I die. Neener. But there's a couple of things. I want to talk about the benefits of what has been going on for myself in terms of, bringing my energy back into my heart. I got tired again. I got tired of giving my power away to everything. I still have a social media thing. It's really tricky, this social media thing, because it's like, well, how do I share this information with people? And here's this wonderful tool. How do I do it in a way where I'm not completely sucked into the chaos that's out there? I'll be honest, I don't read many of your posts. I don't. I do some. But there's a lot of toxicity out there. And it's like going into a bar for me that is completely filled with a bunch of chaos. There's so much, I like to stay updated. I like to know what's going on. And it's impossible these days to check out and not know what's going on. It's impossible these days to not know what's going on. You can turn off everything. You can turn... What are all these angry faces because I don't read everybody's posts? This is for my self-preservation. If I'm focusing on everybody who's... focusing on all these different things that are negative, that's going to pull my power out of myself. It's going to allow me to be distracted. Well, somebody's angry about something. Wow. Stink eye. So here's the thing. In order for me to be centered, in order for me to assist people to the capacity that I assist people with, I need to not be distracted. I need to make sure that my power is anchored in my heart and that I am not giving my power away to who just killed somebody. I need to not give my power away to people complaining about eating tacos that made their stomach feel diarrhea-y. I need to not give my power away to people who find the benefit of complaining through social media. I noticed back in the day when I was drunk all the time that I would post just the craziest bullshit on Facebook and whatnot. And I realized that I was affecting people in a negative way. And And I realized, wait, I can really use this as a wonderful tool to affect people in a positive way. And so that's what I use social media for. Okay. I use it to help influence people and to help bring back the magic, because there's so much of it. And in this time, it's so easy to give our power away. But let me rephrase that. It's actually easier. It's not easy to give our power away. That's the story that we have always learned. That's the story that we have been raised with, that we didn't have power, that we're powerless. Okay? So in order to create a new way of change in your life, you have to think about what would it be like to be powerful. And then you have to start acting in a way that is powerful. You have to start behaving in a way that's powerful. You have to insist upon you as a powerful person. You have to act, behave. Well, what does a powerful person do? And here's the thing, is that our perception often, in terms of a powerful person, is not a positive image. It's something that creates a lot of discomfort. The word power really, really, really used to fuck with my head, because it's like, well, I don't want to be like that person. I don't want to be like that person because they're abusing their power. And I had this fear that I would abuse my power if I was in that position. But what happens is that as you become more in your heart, those fears dissolve and you start talking from here. You start communicating from here. This is the epicenter of my world, not this. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about or what direction I'm supposed to be going right now. I'm being guided by this. And I've never been powerful in my heart. Not like this before. Not like this. So this is really cool for me to experience. One of my biggest fears has always been like, what if I come off as being arrogant or cocky? And some people may think that that by me not focusing on everything that everybody's complaining about is me being irresponsible and whatnot, but it's quite the opposite. I used to be, well, if that was the case, I used to be so responsible to the point where I was depressed and filled with anxiety and wanted to kill myself. Oh, how responsible of you to take on the weight of everybody. And they didn't even ask for the help. I just ended up being drained, depleted, powerless, victim to everything else around me. And I had no idea of who I was. If you think that's responsibility, there's a new way of doing it. And it's called forgiving yourself and creating a new story. It's not your responsibility to take on the weight of the world. It's not your responsibility to look at Fox News. It's not your responsibility to read President Trump's tweets. Okay? That's not going to empower you. What will empower you is taking 5 minutes to meditate in the morning. What will empower you is taking 5 more minutes to meditate at lunch. And to even go, you know what? It may be loud and crazy in here, but I'm going to try something new. Because what I've been doing in the past doesn't work. You keep on doing the same thing over and over and get the same outcome. If you're getting the same outcome over and over and over, and history repeats itself, you're not learning the lesson. Okay? Transmuting and shifting your habits. This is why I do hypnotherapy, is because we're able to work with the subconscious mind. We're able to work with the energy of Reiki attunements and all sorts of attunements. I've been actually receiving new information on new ways to attune people, which is really awesome. Okay. We are becoming more empowered. We're becoming stronger. And I'm going to tie this into what's going on in the world. Okay. So there are children who are having to stand up for themselves. because the adults will not. I want you to think about that for a second. The old ways do not work anymore. So I want you to give yourself permission to think about doing things in a new way if you haven't yet already started. I want your heart to start thinking about new ways to feel, new ways to grow, and new ways to become empowered. It requires bravery. It requires courage. It requires insistence. It requires sometimes changing who you hang out with. It requires you being responsible for yourself. It requires you to be accountable for your own thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and actions. And knowing that oftentimes when you're in a spit or a spat, you're running off of your old subconscious programs that we've been taught how to deal with things. When you meditate, you become present and you're not giving those subconscious habits power over your life. You're moving forward through intention. These kids, it's one of the most wonderful things I've ever seen happen. And it still angers me, very much so, that people are unwilling to listen to them. Okay? It infuriates me. It makes me very sad that we are in a society that does not allow the empowerment of an individual over a fucking gun. It is mind-boggling. Things need to change. Okay? If we're complaining on Facebook, that's not doing anything to create change. Believe it or not, meditation is actually a better way to create change because you're not running off your subconscious habitual programs that you've been taught how to react to things. You can live through intention and from your heart. Okay? There's a bunch of other things going on right now. Systems are crumbling. Systems are crumbling not only in the world, but inside of you. Because they're no longer in alignment with the energies that are here on the planet, or here that are coming in, or here. Your soul is awakening. This is why they call this the Great Rebirth. This is the ascension. This is the spiritual awakening. And many people think that spiritual awakening is some great big woo-woo thing, and it's not. It has to deal with your emotions, your thoughts, your upbringing, your programs, your physical body, and yes, your light bodies, yes, your Merkabah field, and yes, the fractals of light and the light codes and the diamond rays and the solar flares and electromagnetic fields. It has everything to do with the photons in your body. It has everything to do with energy and understanding that you are an energy processor. You have the God's given gift to create, act, behave, nourish, feel, experience, and create something new. The old way doesn't work anymore. That's why you're shifting so rapidly. Okay? This is why you are shifting so rapidly. Because you're evolving. We are evolving. As I evolve, I'm able to allow and assist through my words and clarity to help guide other people in a new way. Okay? Through the tools, my goal was always, how can I make myself better? How can I make my life better? I'm not talking about like, how can I get a Ferrari and stuff like that. How can I make this better? And what does that mean to me? By anchoring in this love and being in my heart, I create a reality that comes from here, not here. Think of this as pain, sorrow, despair, anger, worry, frustration, disappointment. When I'm in here, this has permission to be released. This does not have power. Not only that, love is the highest frequency energy that is anywhere. So if I love more, it's easier to dissolve these old programs. And yes, I do really, really fun, amazing things where I anchor in more light into my heart and expand that into my auric field. And I literally clear out all the icky ickies. And I can go anywhere and I feel amazing. I don't get... It's empowerment. And if you want to know what empowerment's like, go watch these kids who are protesting. And go help them. If you want to know what empowerment's like, remember that Me Too movement? That was empowering, wasn't it? Consciousness is stretching into the realm of empowerment. And it's a train that everybody's soul is wanting to get onto. Many people are still sitting on the sidelines going, oh, there's my train. There's my train. I'm not on the train. Then you start developing a story, I'm not on the train. And then you feel disillusioned to realize that you're not empowered to go get on that train. The train's always ready for you. What in your life can you do for your life that will make you feel empowered? Here's the thing. It may be your habits, your health, your diet that you're giving your power away to, that you're blaming for your unhappiness. It may be a friend or a relationship. Maybe a narcissist. Ooh, let's all blame them. No. You're the one that chose to give your power to them. I've been there. And I've studied it. And it wasn't about them. It was about me. And it was a lesson to learn how to become more powerful. Okay? You can blame guns and we can even blame the government, but really what will start creating change is when you allow yourself permission to become empowered. When you allow yourself permission to slowly start becoming empowered more and more and more. We have a special guest. My neighbor's bringing me a phone number of somebody. Hold on. I'm doing a Facebook Live video. Oh, you're awesome.
They're down there right
now. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sweetheart. Have a good day. We had a special guest, Jessica, from around the corner. I've been asking for a yard guy. I just got a yard guy's phone number. Maybe he's cute. I don't know. She's so sweet. But anyways, what we can do is we can start with the little things. It's, when we want to go outside of ourselves to create change, it's a little bit harder. Then what if we were to start with the little things within ourselves, and then you start having the energy, you start feeling more empowered within yourself to actually have that go-getter mentality to really, really, really create a new sort of capacity, a new energy of change. I love the word capacity. Capacity. Capacity is hot. It's like so cool. My capacity to love these days is huge. Freaks people out. It also inspires people. It's really fascinating when you start realizing what we are capable of when we pull together you know, that through the power of the group, as we evolve, we're moving into that humanity. We're working as a unit. You start noticing that people are they're realizing their power in numbers and groups. When people band together and create change, there's very few people who are in control. They're freaking out. Now I want to talk about something else. The old systems are crumbling. And I'm going to bring this into the banking system. Start seeing all this cryptocurrency stuff everywhere. What the hell is that? It's a new way of unifying funds on a global scale. This has been a part of the expansion with, this is, a new monetary system of currency exchange that would be more global, has been in the works for a very long time. And now that it's happening, it's freaking the banks out. And it's so funny because those banks who, they just had the Security Exchange Commission meeting yesterday, the hearing, and the guy who was attacking cryptocurrencies and all that stuff was saying, oh, it has everything to do with crooks and bad people and drug dealers, and I'm like, is that any different from Wells Fargo? I don't know about you, but I used to buy drugs with cash. I used to get the money for my drugs from my bank. But the important thing to know is that there's these things that are changing. It's like the Wild West. We're in a wild frontier right now. Okay? This time has never been lived before. This moment has never been lived before. This interaction between us has never been lived before. It's never been created. These words, these thoughts, the way they've been put together and what you're experiencing in your heart when I speak has never been created, not like this before. Not in this moment. This is a new reality, and I'm holding a new frequency because of the amount of loving myself that I've been doing. So my words are becoming quite potent. So I make sure that I'm very intentional. It's actually easy for me to be intentional with what I'm talking about. But you're going to notice other things starting to shift. And then we're moving into a period this month, late March. There's supposed to be some big influx of energies coming in. Hi, Mary Beth. I love you. I love you all. There's big influxes of energy coming in from the sun and the galactic center. And what that is going to do is cause the electromagnetic fields on the Earth to shift a little bit. But it's going to almost like a pulsating thing. Okay, it's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit. It's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit, and then you'll start feeling better. What it's going to do is it's literally going to cause you to feel like, ugh. And then the next day you'll start feeling better. Okay, if you start feeling tired, rest. Okay, I had to really focus on rest the last couple of days because some new energies coming in, new downloads coming in. I really had to be mindful of my body, more self-care, more self-love. If you have the ability to take a bath and pamper yourself, do it. Okay, things are only intensifying. Things are speeding up. Things that are speeding up are in alignment with your heart and love energy. We're being bombarded to... are you guys still there? Let me know if you're still there. My cell phone alarm went off, so I don't know if that messed things up. You're still there. Okay, yay. Okay. Okay, perfect. Hey, Avalon, don't blame me. Accountability, sister. Just kidding. Okay, so there's our DNA is upgrading, our bodies are upgrading. We are moving through this wonderful process of moving through human being to Homo sapien into Homo luminous. Okay, and as we move into this state of Homo luminous, we're anchoring in higher frequency energies. Higher frequency means more loving energies, okay? Where your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences are becoming much more accepting, much more forgiving, much more blissful. You're anchoring in harmony. You're anchoring in love and light. You're anchoring in the capacity to expand into new ways. You're anchoring in new ways of believing that are benefiting you. And it's okay to benefit you. You are worthy. You are absolutely worthy of moving forward and thinking in new ways and expanding in new ways that benefit you, because as you benefit, you become brighter, and as you become bright, you can inspire many people around you. Okay? And this is empowering. This is empowering. This makes you experience what power is like when people just automatically know that you are changing. It makes them curious as to why you're changing. They start seeing that train. I want to get on that train. I want to get on that train. It's a really powerful, this lifetime is a powerful lifetime. It's one that is being greatly watched by the angelic realms. It's being greatly watched by extraterrestrials. It's greatly being watched by many different multidimensional factors and galactic, because what happens on the course of Earth in this time can create a ripple effect or somewhat create an energy blockage in all of consciousness. So this is why this is really important, that we love ourselves. We were given a short amount of time to come here on Earth and to change the frequencies on Earth. The Earth is actually more alive than it's ever been. And there's a thing called the event that they call, where these solar or waves of energy that actually come and hit the planet are actually going to cause everything to shift in a very, very, very potent way. So people who are experiencing and going through their spiritual evolution, and the evolution, when I talk about spiritual evolution, I'm talking about moving from the ego mind into the acceptance and forgiveness of the heart. That Christed heart. They call it the Christed heart. Yes, we're all ascending like Christ did. Yes, you heard me. Okay? So and as we do this, we become more loving, more forgiving. We anchor in humanity. Things become more unified. We become more clear. We become more powerful as a whole. As we do that, we change the vibration of our complete reality. We don't have to hover in the state of fear, anguish, worry, and despair. I personally can't stand that shit. So I'll do what it takes to not be there. I'll feel it, yes. But and this is why I like working with myself. Nothing brings me more joy than to sit in meditation, to listen to a hypnosis session that updates my subconscious mind so I can be more in the flow today. Okay? So there's so much happening. When this event happens, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be afraid of. Okay? It will change the molecular structure of many living things. Of all living things, actually. Okay? So as we're going through this purification process that we're already beginning, we've already been, the solar flares and all these different things that are affecting us electromagnetically are shifting into our DNA through the photons, blah, 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 and causing this change, this upgrade. Okay? We're being more refined. This is why diet change, people you hang out with, all these different things of well-being are being so important. But it's the important message is, are you paying attention to the message or are you not? if you aren't paying attention to that message of take care of yourself, clear yourself, you're going to have a harder time. Okay? You're going to have a more difficult time. If you start moving in the direction of taking care of yourself and honoring yourself and choosing wonderful people to surround yourself with and doing good things that are healthy for your body, you will have a much easier time. You will have a much easier time. If you listen to the message that is coming in on the earth right now is love yourself, be in your heart. Be in your heart. Do what you need to do to be in your heart. I'm not talking about go get a Ferrari. If you're worthy of it and you have the money and you want to, do it. Does that make you a good person? I don't know. You know? But there are good people that have Ferraris too. I actually believe that all people are innately good. And sometimes that's to my detriment. I'm a very trusting person. And I've had many experiences that allow me to learn how to discern between good and bad, or not really judging good and bad, but what fits for me and what doesn't. Discernment is important. There's so many spiritual teachers out there. There's so many people talking about all these different things. There's probably different people that talk about many of the same things that I speak about, and that's okay. We all have different energy and different ways of resonating with people, and that's what's important. You know, pay attention to those who make you feel good and who empower you, and awesome. If it's church that makes you feel empowered, awesome. If that makes you a better person, awesome. Know that there are so many different ways of thinking, seeing, and experiencing life that you don't have to limit yourself to just one philosophy. Many teachers speak of love because it's what's important. I love this journey of exploring what's in my heart for many reasons. There's people out there who are exploring the stars, and there's people out there exploring the ocean, and there's people out there exploring the atomic structure of the heart. I want to know what my heart, when fully activated, is capable of. I want to know what my heart can do. I want to know, I'm so curious as to what my heart has the capacity to become. And when I move my attention there, there's not a single thought in my mind right now. It's all peace. It's all peace. It's all harmony. And I feel so connected to absolutely everybody who I encounter. I don't need to see people's faces 24/7 in order to feel the connection. I hear people crying. I hear people asking questions. I hear people being curious. I hear people, I feel it all. Because I'm not separate from any of you. And what I mean by that is because we all experience the same emotions. We all experience the same understandings. We all experience the same, although different realities, we all experience it in similar ways. We all cry. We all laugh. We all have known despair. And we've all had good days, too. And that is what connects us. It's that commonality. It's that knowing that we as a species are here to evolve and to move forward in a collective way. And as I learn from my situations, I'm able to help myself rise up and make better decisions. And as I do that, I receive more information on how to help other people. This is my calling, is what I'm supposed to do. But as everybody else experiences your realities and your ways of being, it allows you to expand and to create that ripple effect within your reality as well. Like I said, it's becoming quite a psychedelic experience being me. It was very interesting last night how, here in this body, I look off in the distance a lot because I'm seeing like maps and how everything is kind of pieced together. And so it's not distracting. It's like my third eye is but I was able to like be completely in my body, and literally it was like every cell in my body was able to see a different aspect of reality. There was that feeling of no separation between anything, and it was like being on some sort of psychedelics, man. It was fucking trippy, and it's still trippy. But I have to remind myself that I'm safe in this expansion, and that I am safe as we move forward. I am safe. I am actually more and more safe, because anything that comes up that's a weird feeling, that's a fear that's being released, that I'm transmuting and shifting and rising above. And if I'm noticing a feeling that is disturbing me, or feeling kind of put my hands on my heart. That's an instant message for me to love myself more. Okay? So, as I'm curious to see what this can do, I hope that it can inspire a lot of you guys. I hope that it can inspire my community. I know it already does. And it's okay for me to acknowledge that, and that's part of the joy that I used to not allow myself to experience. I used to just go, oh, okay, I'm going to help people, but I never allowed the joy that I was actually creating to enter into my heart. So now I'm doing more embracing of that, and knowing that I'm able to help more people when I do that, when I allow myself the love that I feel to be reciprocated just through my own intention. It fulfills me. It fills my bucket. I have a couple of wonderful things in store. I've been working on a whole new series of classes that will be taught online for people who are very connected or have always been curious about sacred geometry. I'm going to be launching that May 19th, I believe, but where we're going to bring forth new levels of attunements that are all heart calibrations and activating the heart, reawakening the heart, because I've found that this experience is something unlike anything else, where we have lots of different attunements out there and energy healing stuff out there. This is all about activating the heart and heart specific, really reminding your heart that it has a job to do, and it has the natural ability to wake up and to forgive. It's natural to forgive. It's natural to be peaceful. Okay, we as spirit are peaceful. It's the ego mind and our upbringings that create us, our programming that makes it not. It makes us predacious. I'm also going to be speaking at Lucidity Festival. I'm teaching 2 classes in the beginning of April down in Santa Barbara. I'll be speaking Lucidity Festival, Desert Dwellers, and lots of wonderful musicians and talented creatives will be there. So I've been asked to speak, so I'll be teaching 2 classes. One is called Forgiveness is Sexy, and the other one is the Magical Empath. And so I'll be speaking on both of those at Lucidity Festival, April 6th weekend. And then I will be journeying through California, visiting my dear friends, and I will go on a 10-day road trip of amazing magical adventure, stopping in Mount Shasta, of course. But then I'm also going to be speaking at the Rassani Fair. It's Oregon's largest spiritual fair. And that's the weekend of the 21st of April, so I'll be speaking there as well. I will be, I'm putting my efforts and energy into speaking at events such as Science and Non-Duality Conference and TED Talks, but I have to remember that I need to create the foundations and the framework for this to all happen. My coaching programs are still available. I'm moving more towards trying to do public speaking and online classes because they're going to be building this stuff across the street for a while. But yeah, if you're interested in this new course, it's basically all geared towards, it's more an advanced thing where we're going to be working with light codes, DNA, restructuring light body alignments and such like that using sacred geometry. So there will be 2 levels, and that will be coming up. The details will be coming up shortly on that. I will be having new downloads available on my website, theepichuman.com, for you to take a part of, for you to experience. And of course, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Danny Picard Inspires. So, yeah, lots of good stuff happening. Okay. Know your love, your conscious awareness is illuminating. Everything's shifting, so embrace the fact that everything's shifting. The more you embrace the fact that everything will always shift, that you're a part of the shifting expansion, you'll find it easier to be at peace with yourself. Okay. I love you guys. Keep on doing the good work. I have a phone call here in a second with a client. And then I'm going to plant some bulbs and go hang out with a new friend. So, yay. I love you dearly. Thank you for being you, and thank you for inspiring me. Because if you weren't you, I would not have, if I was alone, I wouldn't have inspiration. So, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I think about you all. I see all your faces. I hear all your thoughts. And just because I'm not there to give you a hug does not mean I don't love you. So